Abbottabad, Pakistan, a quiet city nestled in the mountains, far from the chaos of war. But hidden here, behind towering walls and razor wire, was the world's most wanted terrorist. For nearly a decade, Osama bin Laden had vanished. The mastermind behind September 11th had become a ghost. But on May 2nd, 2011, everything changed. This is the story of Operation Neptune Spear, the mission that ended the hunt. The breakthrough came from a single lead, a courier. For years, intelligence agencies had been tracking bin Laden's communication network. They knew he relied on trusted messengers to stay hidden. In 2007, the CIA identified a man known only as Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. He was careful, almost invisible. But in 2010, they finally tracked him to this compound in Abbottabad. The building was strange, 3 stories high, surrounded by walls 18 feet tall, topped with barbed wire. No phone lines, no internet. Windows only on the upper floors. Someone inside didn't want to be found. Satellite surveillance revealed something else. A man who never left the compound. He paced in the courtyard, always staying in the shadows. The CIA called him the Pacer. They were 60 to 80% certain it was bin Laden. President Obama faced an impossible choice: launch a raid into Pakistan, a nuclear-armed ally, without their knowledge. If it failed, the consequences would be catastrophic. There were other options: a drone strike, a precision bombing, but those would destroy the compound and any proof that bin Laden was actually there. They needed confirmation. They needed a body. The mission fell to SEAL Team 6, officially known as DevGru, 23 of America's most elite warriors. They'd have to fly deep into Pakistani territory, breach the compound, and get out before Pakistan's military could respond. They had minutes, maybe less. For weeks, the SEALs trained on a full-scale replica of the compound built in North Carolina. They rehearsed every scenario, every room, every possible complication. But there was one problem they couldn't solve: the helicopters. May 2nd, 2011, 12:30 a.m. local time. 2 modified Black Hawks lifted off from Jalalabad, Afghanistan. These weren't ordinary helicopters. They'd been specially designed for stealth, with noise-dampening technology and radar-resistant materials. The flight would take 90 minutes. They'd fly low, hugging the terrain to avoid Pakistani radar. Behind them, 2 Chinook helicopters carried backup teams and extra fuel. As they crossed into Pakistani airspace, there was no turning back. The plan was simple: fast rope onto the roof, breach from above, clear the building room by room. But the compound's walls created a problem. The helicopters would have to hover inside, where the rotor wash would bounce off the walls unpredictably. At 12:47 a.m., the first helicopter descended toward the compound. And then, everything went wrong. The helicopter dropped faster than expected. The air inside the compound was warmer, thinner than anticipated. The modified rotor design, built for stealth, couldn't generate enough lift. The pilot fought for control, but it was too late. The tail clipped the wall, and the Black Hawks slammed down hard inside the compound. For a moment, everything stopped. But these were SEALs. They trained for this. Within seconds, they were out, weapons up, moving to their objectives. The mission was still on. The second helicopter, seeing the crash, diverted. Instead of landing inside, the pilot set down outside the compound walls. The team would have to breach their way in. They placed explosive charges on the metal gate. 3, 2, 1. The blast echoed through the night. The SEALs poured through the opening. Inside the compound, lights flickered on. Someone knew they were there. The compound had 3 buildings. The SEALs split up, moving with precision. Every room had to be cleared, every corner checked. The guest house went first. 2 men inside. One of them was the courier, Abu Ahmed. Both were armed, both were killed in the firefight. The main building was next. 3 stories, multiple rooms, unknown number of hostiles. The team moved up the stairs, weapons trained on every doorway. On the 2nd floor, they encountered bin Laden's son, Khalid. He was armed. He didn't survive. Then they reached the 3rd floor. At the top of the stairs, a man appeared in the doorway, tall, thin, bearded. He ducked back into the room. The SEALs followed. The room was dark. 2 women rushed forward, screaming. The SEALs pushed them aside, scanning for threats. The man was there, standing near the bed, unarmed but reaching towards something. Maybe a weapon, maybe not. The SEALs didn't wait. 2 shots, center mass, 1 more to the head. The man collapsed. One of the SEALs moved closer, shining his light on the face. Even with the beard, even with the years, the features were unmistakable. Geronimo, the team leader radioed back, the code word for bin Laden. Then, the confirmation everyone was waiting for. Geronimo EKIA. Enemy killed in action. 18 minutes had passed since the helicopters arrived, but they weren't done yet. Osama bin Laden's body was flown to the USS Carl Vinson in the North Arabian Sea. Islamic burial rites were performed, and within 24 hours, his body was committed to the ocean. No grave, no shrine, no place for extremists to gather. The hard drives recovered from the compound contained nearly 100,000 documents, plans for future attacks, correspondence with terrorist networks, and bizarrely, pirated movies and video games, including Super Mario Bros. 9 months later, the Pakistani government demolished the compound, bulldozing it to the ground. Today, nothing remains but empty land. The hunt that began on September 11, 2001, ended in those 18 minutes in Abbottabad. The world's most wanted terrorist was dead. But the war on terror? That was far from over. The clock was ticking. Pakistani fighter jets were scrambling. The team had minutes before they'd be intercepted. They photographed the body, took DNA samples, measured the corpse, 6'4", matching bin Laden's known height. They bagged everything: hard drives, laptops, documents, phones, intelligence that would take years to analyze. But they had a problem. The crashed helicopter couldn't be left behind. Its stealth technology was classified. If Pakistan or China got their hands on it, years of research would be compromised. The SEALs placed thermite grenades throughout the wreckage. The charges would melt the helicopter into slag, destroying any recoverable technology. At 1:10 a.m., the remaining helicopters landed. The team loaded the body, the evidence, and themselves aboard. The backup Chinook had arrived to extract everyone. 3, 2, 1. The charges detonated. The Black Hawk erupted in flames, its secrets consumed by fire. The helicopters lifted off, racing back toward Afghanistan. Behind them, Pakistani jets streaked toward Abbottabad, but they were too late. The SEALs were gone.